And now that we're out of the attic, open up the crawl space hatch. You can already see what it looks like down there. You can definitely tell that it's going to need a new vapor barrier just off the rip. But we'll get down there, take a look. I'm going to have Yancey do a super cool edit of me doing this right now. 3, 2, 1. Boom. Now we're all ready to go down into the crawl space. Let's just go. Let's go together right now. Holy moly. Okay. Well, you can pretty much see the entire crawl space from here. I can see the other foundation wall all the way on the other side. Foundation wall to my right. Foundation wall to my left.
What happened this time?
We'll go around, check out, see if we see any entry points. Here's one of those entry points that we would be looking at. These are called foundation vents for ventilation down into the crawl space so that we don't get a whole lot of moisture, humidity down here, especially out in the Pacific Northwest where we're at. We get quite a bit of humidity. And then there are a couple things to note just off of looking at this house here. We can see the vapor barrier isn't quite going up the walls all the way. Vapor barrier should be going up the wall 6 to 12 inches, overlapping 12 inches on every piece. You can also see some water pouring in here. We definitely don't want any of that. That's just causing water pouring onto this vapor barrier, cause moisture problems for our subfloor and our floor trusses. And I can say very confidently that this is from groundwater from inside the crawl space. You can see here, that is dirt. This is where this vapor barrier is exposed, cut open. Groundwater's getting through there. We'll take a look down this way, clear out all these spider webs, make our way to the other side. And we see more groundwater staining throughout the entire crawl space. What a travesty. There's one leak here. And then there's this leak for this tub. And then we make our way over here. You can see all this like gray staining. This is all from pre-existing groundwater. Whether that groundwater was coming in through the foundation vents or it was coming through the vapor barrier, because it's not laid properly, that can lead to this groundwater here that we see is all dried up and calcified. And you can see that discoloration here. This plastic is actually supposed to be black. The main things that we do look for on our inspections are entry points, mold growth, water damage, pipe leaks, HVAC disconnections, any sort of plumbing leaks, whether it's a water line, a cast iron line, like a sewage line, anything like that. We also make sure that we look out for what types of rodents we're dealing with, whether it's mice or rats or something larger like a raccoon or a possum. In those cases, we typically get coverage confirmed through insurance to get those large animal damage projects done. But this one mainly is a water damage, groundwater on the vapor barrier. Didn't see any ducts that were messed up. You can kind of see some of that previous groundwater staining right over there. You can see actually how high that water was getting up, almost to that post right there, which is honestly about a foot off the ground. So at one point they had quite a bit of water down here, but we're gonna get it all taken care of for them. We're gonna do it the right way. So now that we're getting out of the crawl space after we do our inspection, it's always good to take your suit off at the crawl space entry so that you're not tracking stuff through these people's houses. I know that if I was a homeowner and I was having you come up in my house, going under my house, and up above my house, I would not want you making my house a mess. So we always are courteous to our homeowners. So now what we do after we're all done with our inspections, we'll come up with quotes for these projects, show those quotes to the customers, show them all the photos that we took, and get the project moving.